my good friend Silas Harris, who will bring us greetings.
I guarantee this will not be long. It's been a long night so far. In 1966, 16 students left Morningside to integrate at Thompson High School. And to be completely honest with you, that was not an easy year for me and a lot of the black kids who went to DMAT. We had our share of fights, which our principal didn't know about. And my bicycle was vandalized one time. But what kept me going was the band. I always liked music. My dad was a band director, and Mr. Calabrese was a very special person to me. And that spring of that year, he took the 9th graders from DMAT in Oakwood to the Festival of States in Florida. And I just fell in love with the Grenadier Band then. It was just something that made me stay in school. I thought I had made a mistake when I went to DMAT, but Mr. Calabrese was such a positive influence in my life. It's just hard to explain. I took pride in wearing that Grenadier uniform. And in fact, I look at the bands today. I couldn't be in a high school band today because every week we change shows for a football game. Now they learn one show and go to competitions. To me, that's not band. You know, maybe for some of you, it's not band. The only time we did the same show was when we went away for a visiting game. Mr. Calabrese out there screaming and hollering at us, and we enjoyed every moment of it. We even got me in trouble one time. I went home for lunch. I came back off the field. I looked at the pops right here, and I got in trouble, and I blamed him for it. But he was such a great figure for me, father figure. He and Mr. Dotson. I just fell in love with those two people, Mrs. Dotson, Mr. Murdoch. People I would never forget. And I was going to major in music, and I decided, I wasn't going to go to college at first, but there were two things that were happening in the 1960s that made me go to college. One was Vietnam, and I was able to get deferred. I had a very low lottery number. Remember the lottery guys? You know what I'm talking about. And I was going to major in music. I can tell you one reason why I did, and one reason I can't tell you the other reason why I didn't. The reason why I didn't major in music because I went to Winston-Salem State and I couldn't dance. And if you ever seen that band, they can dance, they play and dance, so I decided not to major in music. But my son majored in music, and he taught, he was band director at the West Gardell for 1 year, and Mr. Calabrese came to West Gardell, and just show you what kind of man Mr. Calabrese was. That band grew to 240 members when he was band director at West Gardell High School. That's 1/4 of the population was in that band. And I tell you, one of the saddest days of my life is when last time I wore that uniform. I never forget Quantico when we went to Washington, D.C. Oh, gosh. They were giving us shots. Remember the shots? It was like throwing darts in your butt. So I backed out of it, so I didn't get a shot. But anyway, the sick bus came back home, I think a little bit early. Thank you, Mr. Calabrese, for being such a positive influence in my life. And if it wasn't for you and other people, I don't know what in the world I would have done. And I really do appreciate all our work and dedication you had to the students here at Statesville High School. I do have two letters I'd like to read for you. One is all the way from Norway. It's from Magnar Cliven, I think I pronounced that right. He was an exchange student from Norway. He played what he called a sousaphone, John Philip Sousa. Okay, he says, I remember Mr. Calabrese with great joy and happiness. He was the best teacher ever. I want to give my best regards to Mr. Calabrese and all my friends in the band. That time produces lots of great memories. His stage student from Norway with the class of 68-69. This other one is from our drum major in 1969. It says, Mr. Calabrese, speaking for the 1969 alumni of the Grenadier Band, there is no question in our minds that the 1968-69 school year was one of the greatest accomplishments for the Grenadier Band. Having already performed previous years at various festivals on the East Coast, an Atlanta Falcon professional football halftime show, numerous local and regional parades, plus all home and some away Statesville Greyhound football games, The pinnacle of the band's accomplishments was its appearance January 20, 1969 in Washington, D.C., representing North Carolina in the inaugural parade for the 37th President of the United States.
Nixon.
Nixon. This despite efforts of the United States Marine Corps to food poison the entire band with potato salad. Later in the summer of that year, NASA would attempt, although in vain, to overshadow the band accomplishments by doing that man lands on the moon thing, which we all know was bogus because had that really happened in 1969, the Grenadier Band would have been there on the lunar surface to greet the astronauts that had landed. Truly, all of this success would not have happened but for the tireless work and rehearsals of band members, untold hours of volunteer work by the band boosters and parents, and the underlying support of the Grenadier Band by the Statesville community. However, there would not have been enough fire in the belly of the Grenadier Band to accomplish all of this had there not been the enormous spark of passion provided by you as the fearless director, teacher, mentor to all, an unequal musician. Mr. Calabrese, I hope that you realize how all of us look upon you, not only as a teacher, but also as an adult we knew we could count on. You taught us some very valuable lessons that we have carried with us all these years. Everything one does and the choices we make have consequences. Number 2, privileges always come packaged with responsibilities. 3, respect for leaders is very best taught by example, and when respect is called for, it is to be given. And number 4, successes take hard work, lots of it. Also, we appreciate something now that we simply did not understand when we were teenagers. At the time the Grenadier Band was enjoying all of its success, you were not only the band director, but you were a husband and a father to a wonderful family. Now, as adults, we understand and appreciate that you were only able to devote the endless hours necessary for the success of the Grenadier Band because there was an understanding and supportive spouse backing you at home. For that reason, we thank you, Mr. Calabrese, and your family for your part in the success of the Grenadier Band. Mr. Calabrese, thank you so much for everything you have gave us and taught us. As you remember, the SHS class of 1969 honored the Grenadier Band by abolishing an unmistakable likeness of the Grenadier Bandsman on the cover of that year's student annual. Today, in a like way, the 1969 alumni of the Grenadier Band honors you and thanks for your unlimited efforts and talents that resulted in the enormous success of that year's band. Forever loyal and true, John Alexander, Band Director, 1969. Once again, Mr. Calabrese, we thank you so much, and may God continue to bless you.
Thank you very much,